Then in the other grandstand, it's pretty chockers too. But as I say, you can't see them. We're operating off the one camera. And referee says, are we right to go? And yes, we are. There's the kickoff from Hallam. Not terribly deep, taken by Illawarra Sports High. And so they bring it back and we get it underway. And that is Vanderlark with the ball. Now, we mentioned these two famous schools. Illawarra Sports High, lots of famous people come from this school over the years, rugby league players. Tyson Frizzell is one of them, Trent Merrin, Brett and Glenn Stewart. So, yeah, a lot of rugby league royalty from the Illawarra Sports High region. Anyway, in at dummy half is Howard, and he gets the pass away. And there was one of their big boppers, Vadavai, who's going to be pulled down just short of the halfway line. Howard at dummy half once again, and already they start to work it down to the right end of the field. This is Plekas. And Plekas is going to take the tackle just inside Hallam's area of the field. So obviously 0-0 in the opening stanza of the game. Howard at dummy half again. This time it comes back to Fianay. Fianay launches up a high kick. It bounces awkwardly straight over the head of Hukui, who's got to go back. Tapped through by an Illawarra player and saved. Kicked over the dead by Hohepa. But what a start from the Illawarra Sports Schools. And Vanderlark, well, we've heard all about his pace and his commitment in attack, and you had a little bit of a look at what he had to offer there. So referee says our first drop out of the game. Hallam under the pump, and here's that big bopper number 17 to get us underway once again for the Hallam side. Mentioned that this ground, Mascot Oval, obviously right near the airport, 6 or 7 k's out of the city, and Illawarra were good enough to move the game up here to accommodate Hallam. This is Vadavai with the ball again, about 21 metres out. Gets up and plays it back. Now it comes across now for Marbani. A fiery redhead. He's only 15 metres out. They wrestle him to the ground too. And he didn't want to come down, I'll tell you. Howard at dummy half again. Now it comes out across the line. Fianay again looks for support. Gets it away to Cliff. Then it comes out now for Tiahuru, who gets the pass on to Hamid. And Hamid scores the first try of the game to Illawarra Sports High. So 2 sets, and Illawarra are over in the corner. The light blues versus the dark blues. And we take a look at the scoreboard as the Illawarra Sports High side high-five themselves. They're over in the corner through Hamad, and it's 4-0 as they'll have this attempted conversion. But certainly not the start that the boys from Hallam were looking for, Hallam Senior College. And we mentioned earlier that plane was delayed. They got on the plane, they got off the plane, they started getting ready in the bus from the airport. They're right near the airport. They probably could have just walked down from the airport, might have been quicker. But they're here, and they're ready to go. Not the start they wanted. Fa'awa is having a chat to them, saying, boys, we've come a long way for this. Let's not get our heads down. Let's not be disheartened. It's early doors, as they say. Now, Fianay lines this one up for the Illawarra Sports High School. About 25 metres back. He's a very experienced kicker. I had a look at his percentages earlier. I tell you what, he can pop them from anywhere, this kid. Big, strong legs, and getting quite a name for himself in the Wollongong region. There's a Fianay that plays for St George Illawarra. I don't know that they're related. There quite possibly is a connection, as I suggested earlier. A great rugby league school, this one. Here's Fianay now from the sideline. Moves in. It's in the right direction, but the linesman wave it away. So no change to the score line. We're underway in the Schoolboy Cup, and it is absolutely the start they wanted for Illawarra Sports High. They lead the game 4-0. Remembering, of course, our mates from Hallam have not yet had the ball as yet. We come back to the halfway line. Put the key down, and we'll get underway. Like I say, have a look at this player for Owa if you get a chance today. He's very good. They're all very good. Growing up in AFL heartland and doing their best to play the greatest game of all. There's a kick-off again. Down it goes. Cliff stops it with his foot. He's the captain of this outfit. Picks it up, gets the pass away, and that's a good run, about 20 metres short of the halfway line already. Howard in at dummy half for the Illawarra Sports High School. Remember, they've had all the ball, and when I say all the ball, they have had absolutely 100% possession. Tausala almost throw. Tausala is pulled down 15 metres inside Hallam's end of the field. Then Howard at dummy half again. They come across the line. Marbani takes it up and pulled down. He'll get up and play it back to Howard again. Then it comes out now. They tried to get the pass away from Fionney onto Cliff. It's actually, I beg your pardon, that's Taufa with the ball. Getting up to play it back. Marbani again has a run. Steps off the right, does a little Michael Jackson moonwalk and takes the tackle 15 metres out. Howard again, then Cliff. Will he kick it? Yes, he will. The winger's wide open, hammered. And it's forced over the dead ball line again by the number 5 Edwards for Hallam. So the second dropout we've seen in the opening stanza of this game for Hallam. This is not the start they have been looking for, but kids, keep your heads up. Hold your heads high. It's a long way to go, as we said, in this game. And some people already still making their way in to this fixture. This might go out on the full. Oh, I tell you what, it's nearly ended up on Personal Street. So penalty will go on the 10-metre line to Mascot, on the Mascot oval, I should say, to Illawarra Sports. And they're going to have a kick for goal, make it a nice even 6. So it's been all down this end, hasn't it? It's been all down Hallam's end, the opening exchanges of this game. I believe, from what I'm told, some of these Hallam players are also quite competitive in the AFL, in the junior AFL and the high school AFL in Melbourne. Obviously, a lot of these fellas are of Polynesian background. They love their rugby. Their families are part of the rugby and rugby league community in Melbourne. And now an attempted conversion from virtually right in front. If we change kickers here, we have, this is Hegedus, the vice-captain of the team. And he shouldn't have too much dramas with this one. Over she goes, no complaints whatsoever. It hits the wall of the gymnasium, doesn't end up on O'Riordan Street. And so Illawarra Sports High lead the game by 6 points to 0 as we come back to the halfway line. Looking at some of those vital stats, a couple of big hit-ups from Barney, and as you can see for yourself, 100% of possession at this stage to Illawarra Sports High. I'm just hoping that these fellas, these kids from Hallam, can just get back into the game. It's only 6, only one try. There has been some holes though, particularly in the left side of their defence early in this game. So there's the kick-off. So Illawarra Sports High to bring it out once again. This time for Ower involved in the tackle there, and so too Dio. Gets up and plays it back out of dummy half. Howard to Marbani once again, and wrestled to the turf in a good tackle there by Tawasili as they get up and play it back. This might be Cliff, just his own side of the halfway line. And Howard at dummy half again. Has a run out of dummy half, gets rid of one. And eventually met and dragged down. That's better. That's good defence from Kia. Gets up, plays it back, goes out now for the kick from Hegedus. Down toward the fullback there, Hohepa. He might let this go into touch. And we will see Hallam have the football for the first time in this game. And if you've just joined us, welcome once again to Schoolboy Rugby League with Illawarra Sports High leading the game by 6 points to 0. Now to the 20-metre restart. Well, not a good sign. They're already walking, a couple of these kids from Hallam. I hope they're okay. Ball is played, and now they're going to work it out through their own end, through Ukui. Ukui will get up, play it back now to Nelly at dummy half. I beg your pardon, that's Gibbs. Gibbs will take the tackle. 25 metres short of the halfway line. As we go across now from Ropawama, who got the pass away. We talked about Hallam Senior College, about 35 k's out of the city of Melbourne. Yeah, and as we've said, right in the middle of AFL Heartland. Flew up this morning, and love to see him here as the ball comes back now for Manuel to take it forward. Manuel's going to play it just inside the half of Illawarra Sports High. Dummy half, right side it comes back to Ropawama, who puts up a decent kick. That's a good kick. Hamid goes back, Cliff lets it bounce, and Cliff picks it up. Oh, he did well. He juggled at the captain, and he's going to play it just in the field of play. Then we see second penalty of the match to Illawarra Sports High, and that was just a little bit of poor discipline from Hallam, way up inside the 10. So Fiona says, let's find touch. Let's see if we can go back down there and do it again. Not much of a breeze. If there is any breeze at all, it does favour Illawarra in the first half of this game. And that's found touch pretty much on the halfway line. So we get underway again. Ball is tapped. And this is young Tiahuru getting up to play it back. Then it comes across now for Plekas. Takes the tackle just inside Hallam's end of the field. And Howard at dummy half gets it away to Mabani. They're quick off the line that time. And great defence there from Dio to bring the player down, and so too Manuel. At the dummy half, we see Howard once again. Now having a run is Taufa, and he's a big bopper. I said to keep your eyes out for this kid. 15 metres inside Hallam's end of the field. Howard at dummy half again. Scoots out at dummy half and takes the tackle right in front of the sticks. And as you can see, about 15 metres out. Then at dummy half, they come across to Fiona. Neat little dink into the end goal area. This might be a try. Hammett got there. Did he ground it? I think the referee's going to say that's okay. So for the young winger Hammett, that's 2 tries in the opening exchanges of this game. And Illawarra Sports High now lead Hammett by 10 points to 0. And Schoolboy Cup. Rocking along, one of the great rugby league districts. Think about the champions that have come out of that part of the world, Illawarra. This high school specifically is based in Berkeley, which is down around Kembla Grange, down around Wests and Dapto, and yeah, real rugby league nursery there. Even you look at the last 30 years, some of the players that have played Origin through the Illawarra district. Nevertheless, I'm sure there is some in this Illawarra Sports High team. Fiona's got the ball once again. He places it about 11 metres in from touch. Trainers down there with Hallam just having some words of wisdom and just saying to the boys, it's a long way to go in this game. And Fiona has this one placed about 25 metres back. 11 in from touch. Welcome if you've just joined us. Schoolboy Cup Rugby League is live from Mascot Oval today. And so far, it has been pretty much all Illawarra Sports High. They lead the game 10-0. Now Fiona. Dead silence. Maybe a bird or two chirping and a truck going by on its way to the airport. There's Fiona's kick. It's over. So, 12 points to 0, Illawarra Sports High over Hallam as the boys come back to the halfway line once again and get us underway. And by gee, they've done a lot of tackling. My stats show me that we have had Illawarra with about 76% of the ball and a pretty decent completion rate on the back of that too. So, rule number 1 in rugby league, you got to have the football. And you've got to have field position. The boys from Victoria have tried hard so far today, but they just haven't had either of those things. There's the kick-off. This is deep too. And taken by Fiona. And so immediately Illawarra bring it out through Taufa. Gets up and plays it back. Tiahuru out of dummy half now. They're quick up to pull him down. And the little number 4 is going to get up and play it back to Howard, who is there at dummy half. So 2 tries and 2 goals for the 2 Blues to lead the game. Getting up to play it back. Howard is there at dummy half again. Then it goes across out now to this big number 12 in Tuasala. And Tuasala is a handful. Not unlike Ulukawatau, that Manly back row, where he's still going, this kid. Somebody stop him. And eventually they do, just inside Hallam's end of the field. I think he might be injured too. Yeah, he's down. He's hurt. Trainers are quickly up. He's back on his feet. He is a big bopper. Keep an eye on this kid. You might see him in a St George Illawarra jersey in the not too far distant future. They obviously breed them big down there in Berkeley. So Cliff gets it away to Marbani. He gets the pass then on to Vadabay. Good hit, though, on Vadabay from Nelly. And he's dropped the ball. Referee's saying, what is the referee saying? Well, Nelly is down injured. We've got 2 Nellies in this Hallam side. N-E-L-I, one of the front rowers, and the hooker. And this big fella's hurt. Might be a knee, but it shows his toughness. He got straight back on his feet. as the trainers get out there and keep an eye on him. So the boys get to take a little bit of a breather, suck in the big ones, and thankfully for Hallam, they've got the possession of the ball. Have they? No, they haven't. Well, I thought they did. I must have missed something. Anyway, if you're watching us live, welcome in once again. 12-0 the score. Howard in a dummy half. They look like they're set on both sides here. Illawarra Sports High. Vadavai getting set to play it, and we'll get underway again. Fetting, and we've got some trainers out there. And this big fella Nelly is coming off the field. I hope he's okay. Left leg looks injured. Back it comes now. And kicked straight up and down by Heggett. It's not his best effort. Then batted back into the arms of Hukui for this Hallam side. Gets up to play it back. Now having a run is Gibbs. He'll take the tackle. About 20 metres his own side of the halfway line. Then in a dummy half it comes across to Fa'oa. And I've been waiting to see this kid get the ball. He hasn't had enough of it. Tenny's own side of the halfway line. He gets up to play it back. Right side. Hang on. Penalty. All offside. Illawarra Sports High. So finally we're going to see Hallam with a little bit of possession and a little bit of field position. So let's see what they can do. They have not been, as I recall, inside the opposition 20 with the football in their hands. Well, that Fettingham just found touch. So now we'll see Hallam go on the attack. And Edwards has it. Will he tap it? I think he will. Just slowed down a notch here this game. Now, is there an issue here because the ball was touched? Yes, here we go. We're going to see Howard play it. We'll get underway again. Ball goes out to Manuel. And then straight out to Mamamwesu, who's going to play it 10 metres out and pretty much right in front of the posts. Now it comes right once again to Manuel, almost over the line. He's going to be stopped about 3 metres out. Hallam with it all to do. 17 gets in there to dummy half, gets a pass along the line. Now it comes out to Fa'oa. Fa'oa gets it away to Rapawama. Now they look a little bit clever with the ball. Hohepa tries to step back inside, takes the tackle. But they are right on the attack, Hallam. We hope they can get a try and make it interesting. And I think we've seen a knock-on. Well, we have. Knock-on for Hallam. Have not completed that set. Illawarra Sports High to get the ball back. They lead the game 12-0. And as this game has gone, it hasn't taken a lot of them to get the ball out of their own end. Hopefully we'll get an opportunity to see some of these big boppers on the bench too for Illawarra Sports High. Dawson's a big boy, and Tarney and Scott and Sweet's a good young player as well. My spies down in the Illawarra tell me. So we're going to scrum it down here. And Illawarra Sports High, no doubt, will get the ball off the back of this. Okay, Rich referee's just giving them instructions. Rapawama, get in your position, he says. So now Illawarra Sports High. They're just making too many yards on every tackle. Getting up to play it back. And comes across now. That's better defence there from Kia and Dio and Manuel and company as they play it back to Howard in a dummy half. Gets it back to Marbani. See, that's a big hit. That's the sort of thing we're looking for from Manuel. That's what he's famous for down there in Victoria. Played back to Howard. Comes out to Heggett. He tries to get a pass away and eventually does. But the movement's stopped there by Kia for Hallam. Illawarra Sports High will get up and play it back. Howard sends the ball back inside. And a Taufer, I think it is, takes the tackle last, says the referee. That's better defence from Hallam. Played back to Howard. Sent across now for the captain, Cliff. He sends it down. Will they let it bounce? No. Hohepa gets under it and takes it on the full. Then brings it back. Hamid misses him. So too does Fiane. That's a good run. He thought about passing it and then thought better of it. Possession's at a premium in this game. Gets up and play it back to Edwards. Now look at the strength on him. He just sends Tiahuru straight over the top of him. Marbani pulls him down. Gets up, plays it back to Liu. Then it goes across to Hohepa. And Hohepa is going to be taken by Hegedus. Well, maybe they're starting to just ooze into this game, which would be fantastic as it comes across to Okasinu. And now they're only about 10 metres out, virtually right in front of the post. Getting up to play it back. It ends up in the hands of Kia. Kia for the line. I think he's over. I think he may have scored now. Referee has he said double movement? Yeah, well, he's given a penalty to Illawarra Sports High. I can assume that's double movement. It is. So that's just a little bit of bad luck. Well, call it what you want, but great to see them in the game. Great to see them taking the ball to the line, and great to see they're still giving 150% after a couple of early tries. But 12-0, Illawarra Sports High lead the game. Now we see them find touch, and that's going to be pretty much right on the halfway line. The ground not marked terribly well here. It's the old-fashioned black markings, which, well, they don't really help. Let's be fair to him. Tiahuru about to take the tap and has a little run on his own. No, he doesn't. He gets a pass out to Hammond. Gee, this kid on the wing can move. He gets inside the fullback, Hammond, over the 20. They won't stop him. He's going to go right under the post. Beautiful play from Illawarra Sports High off a tap. And keep your eye on this number 5, Hammond, because I think he might end up playing some NRL. He's elusive. He's quick. There's not a lot of him, but correct me if I'm wrong. He's already scored 3 tries. And that one right under the posts to put Illawarra Sports High up 16 points to 0 with a kick to come. Well, they showed so much promise there, Hallam. But this kid, Hallam, gee, I tell you what, Hammond, I should say, clean pair of heels, goes over under the posts. Fiona, I suggest, will add the extras as Mabani gets a well-deserved rest. After a big first half for the number 13 for Illawarra Sports High, this kid will fair dinkum. He will run through brick walls. He will come off the back fence, as they used to say in the old days. So Fiona's 15 metres back and virtually right in front to add the extra 2 points. 16 points to 0 is the current score. And here comes Fiona. Still some time left in this first half. I suggest that Hallam just kick it down to the southern end of Mascot Oval and try and keep it down there if they can. But that try came a little bit against the run of play. Great play too from Tiahuru, the number 4, who took the tap, looked like he was going to take off on his own, then chucked it to the blind side, shifted it left, and a beautiful try. Fiona adds the extras, and now you'll find Illawarra Sports High lead Hallam 18 points to 0 with, I would suggest, about 5 minutes, maybe 7 minutes left in the first half of this game. Back to the halfway we come once again. And Hallam will get us underway. Now, they did have a player leave the field injured, number 8, which is one of their big boppers, Nelly. He is back on his feet, and he looks like he could be ready to go again. We'll keep an eye on him for you. So Hallam to get us underway. They trail 18-0. Again, this kickoff comes straight down in the arms of Plekas. Plekas takes the tackle. Edwards involved to stop him. Just his own side of the halfway line. Then Fiona got the pass away then onto Taufa. Taufa got a pass on, but they all kind of got caught up in the traffic. That was actually, I beg your pardon, big bopper, number 14, Dawson out there now. Now at dummy half, Howard shifts it to their right. Now it comes out to Tawasili, gets it out to the winger. Keep an eye on this kid, Van der Lark, takes the tackle pretty much on the halfway line. And the two Blues continue to just hit it up strong and hit it up hard. Pretty much right on that halfway line. Howard back to Cliff. Again, a kick. Hohepa can't get a hand on it, lets it bounce. Goes back and picks it up about 9 metres out centre of the park. Here now is Hukui. And get up and play it back now as it comes out for Liu, who we haven't seen a lot of today. Great defence again from Tiahuru. We were talking earlier too about this famous ground. The game was shifted to here because Illawarra Sports High wanted to help Hallam out. Of course, Hallam had to come up on the aeroplane earlier today. We're right near the airport, so that was very nice of Illawarra Sports to do that as the kick goes downfield. But this particular ground, Mascot Oval, and this team mascot, for those who don't know, this has been probably one of the greatest of all junior clubs as a nursery. Cam Murray is from Mascot. Kian Kaloa-Matangi, Adam Whanua-Blake, Dylan Walker. Remus Smith, I think you'll find, is from here. Sifa Talakai is a Mascot junior. And even you go back to the old days, Les Davidson, the great Mario Fennick, all played some of their time at Mascot. The Mascot Jets, one of the more famous of the South Sydney junior clubs. That's where we are today. We've got more replacements on the field anyway. Scott's out there as Illawarra Sports High send this one down toward Hohepa. He's been busy this afternoon. He might just let this one dribble over the dead ball line. Yes, he does. Gee, I thought he was forced to play at it then. He's going to bring this back to the 20 and we'll get underway again. 18-0, 26 minutes gone. I should say 26 minutes gone, yeah, in the first half of this game. And Hallam very slow to get back and reset there. That's not a good sign, boys. Come on. You've come a long way. Here comes the big fella, number 8, Nelly, back on the field there. Tapped by Hohepa. And so away they go again with Gibbs taking it forward. Then at dummy half, it's Dio. Dio, who's done so well for them this year. Getting up to play it back, it's Hukui. So then the pass comes out across to Okasinu. On the halfway line, he will play it. Out of dummy half, they get out of one tackle, get a beautiful little pass away to Okasinu again. He gets out of a tackle. He's got a good fend on him. He tries to get a pass away, but it's intercepted by Fionney for Illawarra Sports High. Scott gets into dummy half once again. You can't miss him with the headgear. And that's tackle 2. Just a couple of minutes left in the first half. 30 minutes per half. So this is Wood for Sports High, Illawarra Sports High. Now what's the referee's asking Wood to play it again, Scott again. Cliff was getting ready to send that to orbit. Everybody's doing the Matty Burton kicks at the moment, aren't they? Here it comes. And he decides to run it. Cliff, he nearly broke the line then too. I like the looks of him. About 10 his own side of the halfway line. Great leader, gets up without the ball, and the referee says, don't look at me, son, you dropped it. Don't look at me, you dropped it. They forced the error. Hallam, with a couple of minutes till half time. What have they got in the tank? Okay, here we go now. They trail 18-0. Wouldn't it be just wonderful to see them get points here? And we welcome in viewers through Victoria, through the Southern Capital. We love to see you watching a bit of rugby league, if it's NRL, if it's Schoolboy Cup or anything in between. It is okay to like both games, they tell me. I have to say, I'm rugby league all the way, but they do tell me it's okay to like both games. Okay, here they go. Hallam, their last chance before half-time. Gibbs. He's gone right through, Gibbs, and Vanderlark pulls him down 10 metres out. That's more about what we're looking for. He'll get up and play it back, and they're going to get a penalty. And you know what? I think he's going to send Vanderlark, or is it Cliff? One of them is going to get sent to the sin bin. Well, this is a great opportunity for Hallam because they'll take this into half-time and perhaps come out with, obviously come out with 12 men to start the second half, playing against 12 men. Illawarra Sports High have just had one sent to the bin. I'll just confirm with you who that is, as Kia has the ball now for Hallam. About 5 metres out and just to the left-hand side of the upright. They've gone over the line. Have they got it down? I think they have. I think you'll find Hallam have scored their first try. Did not take them long to take advantage of the fact they are playing against 12 men. Yeah, Cliff is the man off. It wasn't pretty, but they barged over the line. They bashed and barged. Referee was on the spot to point to the spot there. 18 points to 4, kick to come. How good is it to see Hallam score a try after half an hour of passing in this game? And Cliff in the sin bin. 4 tries in all. If you've just joined us, 3 tries to 1 man. The winger for Illawarra, Hamid, who has scored all their tries today. So now Hallam have this one placed. Not a terribly hard kick. They probably, you would suggest, need to go up in 6s to stay in this game. And here they are, just to the left-hand side of the upright. Looking to turn 4 into 6. The red and blue of Hallam, a school that really will start to make a name for themselves in rugby league over the next decade. He's kicked it. 18 points to 6 is the score as we come back to the halfway line at Mascot Oval. And we talked about this famous ground and this famous club that are based here. And there are some kids getting ready on the hill who obviously play footy here at Mascot. They've always had just an immense amount of talented juniors. I can recall in my youth, they had an A team and a B team that played in the same competition back in about 1977. Kids about under 16, a 1s and a 2s, and the 2s beat the 1s in the grand final. That's got to tell you the competition's healthy. There's the kick-off anyway, and Hallam bring it out from their own end. And here is Tawasili, and he's stopped about 18 metres out, and they're going to get a penalty here. They're going to get a penalty here. Hallam. And looking to just keep the momentum going and get the ball up to the other end of the field. So the touchline is found by Rapawama. Let's see if they can keep possession. They take the tap. This will be all they wrote for the first half. And great defence there from Plekas. And the referee says that'll do us. It's half time with Illawarra Sports High lead. Say, let's get underway again for the second half of this game. 18 points to 6, the current score. And Hallam take the ball from the kickoff. And that's better. That's Nally out of dummy half. Josiah Nally, I beg your pardon. 10 his own side of the halfway line, and they work down that right side of the field. 12 on 13 at the moment. Good defence there, though, by Tiahuru. Doing the work of an extra man there. Nally at dummy half again, and then it comes across to the middle. Look at that big fella. Big number 14 for Illawarra Sports, Dawson, involved in the tackle there. That was an awful pass from Nally out of dummy half. He's been good today, Josiah Nally, but that pass wasn't on. And that's caused a little bit of stress because they're going to now have to hand the ball over. Now, I believe Illawarra might be next week heading down to Victoria to play the other Victorian side. So they've got their own road trip to worry about next week. And so Hegedus, vice-captain, feeds the scrum. They'll want to hang on to this ball for as long as they can. Fionney. Oh, thought there might have been a chance of obstruction there. They're up on him quickly to pull him down. About 15 short of the halfway line, and then comes across now for Tarney to bring it up toward halfway. Then a dummy half at Scott. Hegedus floats a ball out there to Wood. And he'll take the tackle on the halfway line for Illawarra Sports. Then back to Dawson. Going across field, trying to link with somebody. Gets the pass away to Vatavai, who's taken by Tafoa. And then at dummy half, it's Tiahuru. And Nally brings him down just inside Hallam's half. But Illawarra Sports get a penalty. They lead the game by 18 points to 6. If you've just joined us for the second half here. And the whole Illawarra region well represented here. Thurul Butchers, we've got Vanderlark there for the Thurul Butchers playing out there today. That's a great club in Wollongong. Thurul Butchers and Corrimal Cougars. The Collies all represented out there today. Dawson's had the ball stripped from him, and the referee says that's 2-on-1 strip. So Illawarra get a penalty just to the left-hand side of the upright. And I wonder if they think, well, maybe we'll have a shot for goal and just soak up a little bit more of that clock. Of course, you could just as easily soak up the clock too with a good attacking set and a good kick on the back of it. Good little kick into the in goal. Now, Fiona has the ball. Having a committee meeting about what they might do. And by my calculations, they've got about 5 minutes left. A man down with Cliff in the sin bin for them, but we'll keep an eye on that for you. Now Fiona try and extend this lead. Illawarra 18, Hallam 6 at the moment. And here comes Fiona. Not a hard kick. He kicks at a very high percentage, this kid. He's got a great kick in him, and he can kick them a long way too. No complaints with that one, no mistake. Illawarra Sports High 20 now lead Hallam 6. So we come back to the halfway line once again, and by gee, they've had a few opportunities to kick off today, haven't they, Hallam? Nally set to get us underway again. Once again, we welcome in viewers south of the border through Victoria. I've had a few people text me to tell me that they're listening in rural Victoria as well. As Illawarra Sports make a bit of an error off the kickoff there. It's this winger who's been so good for them today, Hamid. He's scored 3 tries. A rare error from him. Nevertheless, it gives Hallam the opportunity to come back into the game. But a slower start to the second half. That first half was more punchy, more pacey. We scrum it down, right in the centre, 10 metres out from Illawarra Sports High's goalposts. So, Fayoa will feed this one. Big boppers in the halves, haven't they, Hallam? Big players in the halves. Well, not this little fella, but certainly the 6 and Josiah Nally as well. This is Nally at dummy half now. Goes right side. This might be their opportunity to get across the line. Are they over? Fayoa, he might have got the ball down. Or is referee saying he's held up? He's right behind the goalpost. I can't see him. Referee seems to be saying the player was held up. So we go back to the 10-metre line. But Hallam, they trail 20 points to 6. This is their opportunity. Nally's going to play it. Nally's going to take the ball from dummy half. And now it comes across now for the middle of the field now for Ocasino. They've really relied on him since he's been out there. Played back now. Comes across for Rapawama. He gets the pass out. Now it comes out to Gibbs. Gibbs, he gets over the line. Can he get it down? I think he does get that down. Oh, referee, the linesman's telling the referee he was held up. Well, isn't that been a highlight of the game at all levels this year? Online defence from teams young and old. So back they go to the 10-metre line once again. This time, Hohepa gets into dummy half. He's a classy kid with the football in his hand. Sends it back across the middle. Nally has it. And then Nally gets the pass on. to the number 8. That's Nelly. That's in fact his brother. Gets up and plays it 1 metre out of dummy half. Penalty incorrect. Oh no, hang on. Well, he's given Hallam a penalty. They might have wanted to play the advantage there and claim the try, but Hallam get the penalty 10 metres out from Illawarra Sports High's try line. They lead the game. Well, they trail 20 points to 6 at the moment. Now, Nelly could really make a game of this here. If he can just work out what to do. Maybe he just runs it on his own. He's a big, strong runner of the ball. Gets the ball away to Kia. Kia will take the tackle 1 metre out from Illawarra's try line. Nally at dummy half again. Off to Nally number 2. And there's no question there. He gets the ball down. Referee says, yep, points to the spot. So from one Nally to another. And Hallam are back, baby. It's 20 points to 10 with a kick to come. 20 points to 10 with a kick to come. And the sin bin player, Cliff, is now back in the ball game. We got a game on our hands. And unfortunately, though, we're back to 13 on 13. Well, you can't say Hallam didn't take advantage of the fact Illawarra had a man in the sin bin. By gee, they scored 2 tries while Cliff was in the sin bin. And this one right beside the posts, 20 points to 10. They'll turn the 10 into 12. And Nally doesn't miss them from here, I can tell you. Schoolboy Cup, competitive as ever, and we've always enjoyed this midweek schoolboy football. And you can sit down here for an hour or 2 hours talking about the players that we've seen come through from schoolboy level who've played in this competition and then gone on to play rugby league at the highest level. Nally and Addy, he adds the extras. So 20 points to 12 is the score in this Schoolboy Cup game at Mascot Oval. Back to the halfway line we go, and Illawarra Sports High, I'd suggest, will be looking for a deep kick-off. Keep the opposition pinned down to the right end of the field. If you think about it, Illawarra Sports High got 2 really early tries, and, you know, there hasn't been much between them as far as points are concerned since then. I do say respectfully to both parties here, I think Illawarra Sports High have been the better side. Well, they go for the shorter kick-off, but they don't get the ball back. Hallam haven't. What can they do? They trail 20 points to 12. Good defence there from Wood for the Illawarra Sports High side. They get up and play it back. Out of dummy half, it's Gibbs once again. He likes to get involved. He gets a pass away, and now they're looking confident with the ball, and just as I say that, they've dropped it. I think Fionnet's picked it up for Illawarra Sports High. And what is the referee saying here? Well, it's been a stop-start encounter this second half. We will see a scrum. We will see Illawarra Sports High get the feed. Now, a couple of players still haven't been seen in this game for Illawarra. I think Sweet would be one of those. And I do recall them playing a game in Canberra earlier this year with 8 players out. They might have played Erindale. And Erindale just more or less won that game in the first 10 minutes, if my memory serves me correctly. Hegedus gets the pass away to Cliff. Cliff steps off the right, goes across field, then straightens up. Runs into a big bopper. And that's where they'll bring him down. Now, a dummy half, Howard is back on the field. Gets the pass away to Asala. And Illawarra Sports High are only a couple of metres out. Van der Lark, the rule butcher, gets in there to dummy half. Long pass back to the centre, Hegedus. He got it away to Vadavai. Tried to duck under Gnarly, and Gnarly, in fact, stole the ball from him. So that's a great one-on-one steal from Gnarly, who, for mine, has been Hallam's best. In the opening, certainly in the opening first half of this game. Nevertheless, here they go, Hallam. They've got the ball back. They trail 20 points to 12. And they bring it back almost to the halfway line. We'll get up to play it back. And Edwards has a run. Gets rid of a tackle and then 2. And then gets rid of another one. And then comes to Asala, and he knocks him down. To play the ball again, Gnarly. And then it goes across to Faioa. Last tackle, says the referee. Gnarly at dummy half. There's the kick from Ropawama. Bounces awkwardly for Cliff, but he gets under it. Brings it back to the 10. Van der Laak at dummy half. And this is, of course, Tiahulu. Fianay got a pass away then on to Hamid, who has celebrated all Illawarra's tries this afternoon. Gets up a little shaky, plays it back to Fianay. And then it comes out to Marbani, who's back out there again. Howard. And then the kick downfield from Hegedus. A little bit tricky there for Hukui. Goes back though, picks it up. And Van der Laak, wonderful chase to pull him down 5 metres out. About 13 minutes gone in the second half of this game. Remember, they are 30-minute halves. This is Hohepa. Still time for Hallam. They trail by 8. And I have to tell you the story once again, because it's worth telling again. In this day and age where rugby league players have got to get to interstate games 4 and 5 days before, Hallam flew in today. Their flight was delayed. They get out of the airport, come straight to Mascot. Straight out of Mascot Oval, out of Mascot Airport to Mascot Oval. Cliff has the ball for Illawarra Sports High. Fianay gets it a dummy half. This is Van der Laak. Gnarly goes up, takes him high, says the referee. So he's a nugget, Gnarly. He's a strong-looking player. He's low to the ground, but he's a solid kid. The number 17, Gnarly. Illawarra Sports High get the penalty. Hegedus, that's not his best kick. I've seen him kick 30, 40 metres on a touch finder. Well, the wind got hold of that, though. I'll tell you that breeze has really picked up. This is Plekas, and Plekas will be taken by Faioa. Just inside Hallam's half. Howard is at dummy half. Short side, finds Fianay. Fianay gets it away to Tiahuru, who gets away from 1 and 2. Oh, he's strong for a little man. About 10 metres out, Howard at dummy half again. Taufa. And we've got another one of the big boppers, Tamui, out there for Hallam. So Howard at dummy half again. Now Mabani changes direction, steps off the right, takes them all on his own. He must be very close, the redhead. Gets up, plays it back. Howard sends it across to Plekas. Plekas! And they number up. They're not going to give up this mob, Hallam. They trail 20 points to 12. Then Plekas plays it to Howard. He gets it away now to Hegedus, who fires one out. It comes out eventually to the fullback Cliff, and it ends up in the arms of Hallam. Well, they've saved another try. Sadly for them, they're pinned down the wrong end of the field. And then out of dummy half goes Bakui. 20 metres out from their own line. Hohepa gets the pass across field. Illawarra Sports High's defence is still good. They would be aware that the clock is ticking down. They lead the game by 8. It's certainly not a winning lead. But Gnarly has it, and he can wind up to this kid. Well, I think I've put the hex on him, because as soon as I said that, he's dropped the ball. Illawarra Sports High back in the box seat on the halfway line. And we talk about this district and the rugby league players, it's pumped out. Where do you want to start? How far back do you want to go? 70s. You've got blokes like John Jansen and Royce Aliff. And you go to the 80s, you've got blokes like Slippery Morris. And you go into the 90s, and you've got the Rod Wisharts and the Mary McGregors, the Brett Rodwells of the world. And then, of course, it goes without saying, into the noughties, the Morris brothers. Stewart brothers are from that part of the world. The modern game, Reuben Garrick, point-scoring machine for Manly, is from Gerringong, from down that way. Hegedus gets it away to Fionney. Tries to create an opening. Gnarly's got him. And thumps him down. They're looking for a penalty. But Gnarly is getting very angry in the back end of this game. We're seeing some big hits. That was Taufa. He continued to take it up. And then a dummy half, Howard. Marbani, look at that hit from Gnarly. Look at this. Look at that hit. That's as big as something you'd see in the NRL. Hegedus again. Brings it out to Tawasala, who had support there from Wood if he needed it. Look for a good kick on the end of this set. Howard. Plekas comes in looking for the ball. And on the last tackle, they're right where they need to be. Howard. Now Hegedus kicks out toward the wingers. Up they go. It's taken by Van der Lark, and he gets a try at least in the corner. And you can hear the cheer. That's his own personal cheer squad behind me. I think his father and his grandfather. They've travelled up from Thirroul, and they're very happy to see young Van der Lark get a try and bring it out to 24 points to 12 with the kick to come. Van der Lark gets the try. Mentioned earlier, he's a Thirroul Butcher. Very strong club in that part of the world, the Butchers. And Van der Lark gets a well-deserved try. Lanky winger, nice style of a player, lots of pace, very keen to get involved. So Fionney kicks this one, and I guess this puts them out to 14 points with about 10 minutes left on the clock, I would suggest. Illawarra Sports High will travel the 70 or so Ks down the M1, or the F6 as we used to call it in the old days, and I would suggest they might, at this stage, be taking back the 2 points. Now Fionney, a couple of metres in from touch. We'll try and add the extras. Kicked a couple of beauties today. Puts them right over the black dot. Kicking into a breeze too that's really picked up in the last 15, 20 minutes. Now Fionney. Looks okay. I don't think so, though. Waved away. 24 points to 12. Illawarra lead Hallam. 24 points to 12. And that, I would suggest, means that for Hallam, they've still got time to score 2 converted tries and get themselves back into the contest. All wingers tries for Illawarra Sports High. 3 for young Hamid and 1 there for Van der Lark, his first one today. And back to the halfway line we go. Nally kicks off. Oh, Van der Lark does well to take that one in the in-goal area, and the one-arm carry, the one-hand carry, 15 metres out. We'll now play it back. He got up and had something to say to Kia, the Hallam player. Howard at dummy half now. Mabani. And again, big hits by G. Gnarly's got some big hits. And Mabani he's going to get up. And I tell you what, that's how tough this kid is. Just an excellent show of sportsmanship too there. Gnarly was concerned about Mabani's health. Mabani got straight to his feet. I'm loving this game today, I've got to say. Plekas gets out of a tackle. Plekas will play at his own side of the halfway line. Tackle 5 is the call. Howard sends it back, and then it comes out now for the number 3, Wood, who steps off the right. Nice bit of play here from Wood. He weaved his way through, got a pass back in field. It was kicked, and then Nally is there to dive on the ball for Hallam. They need to know that they're not out of time, but 7 minutes to go. They're probably starting to, well, not get desperate. Need to make every play count. In at dummy half, it's Hukui. And then it comes across for Ropawama. And Ropawama's going to take the tackle up near the halfway line. So this is a great run out of dummy half too, but Howard's there with the help of Taufa, I beg yours. Now Nally out of dummy half. Or I should say, yes, it is Nally. Last tackle, says the referee, and they're still about 30 metres out. They need a decent kick. A dummy half, Manuel sends an awful pass back to Hohepa, who can't get it. And on the last tackle, that is how they give the ball back to Illawarra Sports. 24 points to 12, Illawarra leads with about 6 minutes left on the clock. And get underway again. It's going to be Howard to take the kick off, to take the ball. Then Cliff. Only player we've seen bin so far this afternoon. Left side from Howard, and it goes out to the big fella Dawson in jumper number 14. And we're seeing another one go on here. This is Tarni for Illawarra Sports. And comes across now for Cliff. He comes out right side. He's got Tarni with him, but he'll take the tackle just inside the territory of Hallam. Hegedus taken, and he's dropped the ball. Simple knock on from Hegedus, just opens the door ever so slightly to invite Hallam back into this game. 6 to go. 24-12, 2 converted tries the difference. Players get to the scrum here very slowly. It's been a good game from Illawarra. I have to say, though, there's a couple of times here I thought where they really could have gone on with the job and scored maybe 2 or 3 more tries. Big tackle there from Dawson on the little number 7, Rapawama. And now they bring it down the centre once again, this Hallam side, who have been so courageous, so valiant all day today. Nally at dummy half. Gets the pass away to Hukui. At the play the ball, it's Nally again. Then it goes out to Fawa'a. Gets the pass away. And they find themselves in good position. Good field position about 30 metres out, Faoa. And then at the play the ball, Nally again. Away from 1, away from 2. Can he go all the way? Takes the tackle 1 metre out from Illawarra Sports try line. Last tackle, says the referee. Well, this is the most vital play of the game. Back it comes, out to Nally, and then it comes out now. They're going to score here. They get over the line and ground it. It's Kia. He scores for Hallam. Kia gets a try. That makes it 24-16. Kick to come. Still time here for Hallam. Well, where has this come from? And how important is this kick? Great try to the number 11 Kia, but the lead-up work from Hallam was absolutely sensational. They passed it along the line from Rapawama and Nally, and then it came out to Kia, and by the time he got it, he just had to sort of go like a bullet, just duck down low and aim at the try line. That's what he did. So 24 points to 16, kick to come. And we have about 3.5 minutes left on the clock. So let's see what Nally can do with this one. He's got to kick this to keep this game alive for them. Josiah Nally. So Here he goes. The importance of this kick. For a young chap, he probably won't have a more important kick, dare I say it, this year, because this is going to make it a game if he can kick it. Here's Nally's kick off the boot. It's waved away, and it's 24 points to 16. That might have been their last throw of the dice. Nevertheless, we'll see what happens from the kickoff, because I'm sure Illawarra Sports is going to be in no hurry to get us underway again. And they'll take all this opportunity just to take in some air, just to breathe in some air, and just to slow the game down a little bit. Time is off. And I make it a tad under 2 minutes. 24 points to 16 is the current score. So we've got one player getting injured, or one player getting attended to on the field, and on the sideline we've got a player, it's the number 3 Wood, who has a bloodied nose and mouth, but he seems to be okay. Fiona gets us underway with a big kickoff taken on the full by Rapawama and given to Nali, who's going to take the tackle right on the halfway line. Time might beat them. A little error at dummy half. That's not going to help. It's Gibbs out of dummy half. He's tried so hard today, and he's had a couple of good scoots out of the dummy half position, but that time he just spilt the ball, and it'll give it back to Illawarra Sports High, who will probably just take the opportunity to play out a very slow and sluggish last set. But who knows? Maybe there's another try in them. Currently, if you've gone away and come back, it's 24 points to 16 with Illawarra leading Hallam. And Hegedus feeds the scrum. Fianei, and then Tiahuru, taken by Faioa, and gets up to go again. Referee says, what are you thinking? Get back there and play it, son. We're counting down the last minute or so of this game now, and the ball is loose, picked up by Taufa, and he's going to play it back now to Howard once again. Gets the pass away, Tani, and then out to Vatave. Vatave will be pulled down by the halfback, Rapawama, for Hallam. Then Howard, Plekas, big strong runner of the ball, wrestled into the turf, about 30 metres out from Hallam's line. As it goes out now to Dawson, who I think would have to be maybe the tallest player on the field. Plekas has it now. He's going to be wrestled to the turf. It's the last play for Illawarra Sports High, as it goes across for Fianei to kick to the in-goal area. It'll be picked up by Hohepa, and he will take the tackle. It's been a wonderful afternoon of rugby league. We've seen some great shows of sportsmanship, but I tell you what, haven't we seen some talented young players on both sides of the half, both sides of the equation. Some real skill coming out of this Illawarra side, and then some really big hits, certainly in the second half, from some of the Hallam players as well. And now comes out for Kia, who's scored that try. Gets the pass back on for the kick there from Rapawama. It should come to nothing as Hamid takes the ball, runs it dead. And so a good win a good win for Illawarra Sports High, 24 points to 16.